Land's End is one of your favorites.
Land's End is one of my favorites. Yes.
And how come? It's just
I love the ocean.
yeah. Actually, my Rand and I we went to the Presidio for the first time, and that was phenomenal. The views from there's a trail there called the Bay uh, Coast Ridge Trail. I think. Are you familiar with it? It goes all the way around. It looks like it
Yes,
connects.
yes. I've been on parts of that.
Yeah, and the views have been absolutely incredible. Um, so let's actually go and see you in this shot here of the Port Authority. Oh, sorry, I'm from New York. I keep on calling this the Port Authority building. It's actually the ferry building. When we were talking before, you emphasized one of the themes in your landscaping work, landscape photography work, was actually
Reflections. Yes.
reflections.
Reflections.
Right, which is beautifully displayed by the reflections that you see in the water.
Yes, I think that more than anything else inspired me to take that photo.
Why reflections? Is there a particular theme in reflections that you like, um, or is it, for example, you have a shot here of City Hall, right, the dome, and tell us more about the shot, because this is not just a shot of the dome through trees, is it?
Well, you get not only do you have the reflection of the dome in Davies Symphony Hall, but you have some of the light fixtures that are behind the glass. You have
I'm now going to use this very expensive pointing device to illustrate what we're talking about. So we have the light fixtures here, right, behind the glass. This is actually Davies Symphony Hall
Davies
here,
Symphony Hall. Yes.
right, and City Hall's behind it, and in front of City Hall are the trees. So you're not actually
So there are many many layers, and I know, and it's also mimicking in some ways the process of layering different images in Photoshop. Yet this image is a real image. I mean, if one without the camera stood in front of in front of Davies Symphony Hall, you would see what you're seeing in the photograph. That there's no Photoshop magic, there's no camera magic. Yet in many ways it mimics that kind of process.
so this is life imitating art, you could say, or life
Exactly.
imitating Photoshop.
Exactly.
I see. That's really great. So, So the inspiration of this picture would be the fact that you can see these reflections.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on now to the portrait stuff, which is that's your favorite part? You
It
told me.
is.
Why? To, is there particular reasons for
But there's just like I was saying before.
mm,
There's just a magic about people, and plus it's of all my work in terms of the reaction that I get from other people. I mean, people love seeing photos of other people, and especially people they know.
I think you're right. It has that immediacy, and I think humans relate to other humans
Exactly.
much more
Exactly.
so. And the first picture I have is who is this gentleman, and what compelled you to take the picture? Tell me more about the picture.
Well, he goes by the unlikely name of Wow.
Okay.
It is technically it's one of the very few that I've used colored gels with. I was experimenting a bit with the lighting,
You have a red and blue,
blue gels.
and this is to reveal something about his personality, you think, or is this are you just playing with colors?
I'm playing with colors and playing with lighting.
So in other words, I'm probably way over interpreting your photography. Would that be a fair assessment?
A fair Yes, a fair assessment.
But it's a lovely picture.
But
Let's
but
go.
he but
Yeah.
Wow also, I mean, we
Mm.
talked about wanting to do something that was different, so in that sense it does reflect his personality.
It certainly does. I'm now going to put up a picture of a friend of mine who's been on the show before, and that is Monk Hitaris. And let me actually, before we show him, who are mostly the subjects that you take pictures of? Mostly your friends, right?
Mostly my friends, yes.
Yes, and they're they're all many of them are radical fairies.
Indeed.
And why is there a particular thing that draws you to taking pictures of radical fairies? Like, for
Not
example,
above and beyond the fact that they're my friends and I'm comfortable taking their photos.
okay, I was just wondering because maybe I, they like, at least in my experience with radical fairies, they seem to like to think of themselves as being a little more open and flamboyant,
Oh,
and
they're big hams.
they're big hands, and isn't that what we want for
Oh,
photography?
absolutely.
Okay, so
And
let's.
have wonderful and often have wonderful faces.
They have wonderful faces and can also they do things with costumes and outfits
Oh, yes, wonderful.
and but how do we bring out the inner radical fairy? So here is Monk, who's been on the show before, and this is not a flamboyant radical fairy picture. This is someone that's rather pensive. How did you get this picture?
Well, I before I did studio photography shot or studio portrait shots, I did a lot of oh, what's the word? Uh, just oh the my basically shots of people in oh God my
What you mean as far as fashion work is
no no
concerned, or
no just my mind is just blanking on the word, but it's
welcome to live television, by
yes
the way.
yes indeed yes indeed um, in just kind of casual situations.
Mhm. Oh, you mean like ad hoc or impromptu
Yes
photography?
yes
So
yes
nothing so staged as
exactly. So
a.
what I wanted to do is I wanted to take that into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I invited you as to come along,
Me.
you
Yep.
along with Monk,
Mm.
and in fact you were sitting behind me, and you and Monk were having a conversation for most of the shoot, to the point where Monk became rather oblivious to the fact that there was a camera, which was exactly what I wanted, so that he was not aware and began to reveal sides of himself that I don't think he would have if he was posing for the camera.
I remember that shoot quite well, and I arrived I think like 45 minutes after he had started, so he became very much more looser. I was and you and I hadn't actually talked about doing this before,
Not at
had
all.
we? So, but so to give myself a pat on the back, I feel like I. I wanted to get him to go through a range of emotions, so I started asking him questions about how he felt about various things. And I wish I could remember what was the question I asked him to get him to do this sort of pensive thing. And yes, those are his tights there. Those are Monk's very own trademark tights. He actually wears those in most of his performances, so he was kind of aware he was performing. He I and he loved doing the shoot actually, and one of your goals is to get people to forget about the camera. The camera.
Exactly.
Not an easy job, is it, to do that with
It
people?
often can be a daunting task.
Now, this other shot, this is of John Burnside, which I will put on the platinum right now. Who is John Burnside? And tell me more about this picture.
Well, John Burnside was the partner to Harry Hay, who was, I think, together John and Harry were amongst the founding fathers of the Radical Fairies. Um, John Burnside was also the inventor of a device that is used in the motion picture industry that we were going to look up the name of, but we forgot.
We didn't
But
forget that people were using the computer, he says
anyway,
hurriedly.
but
Okay.
anyway,
Anyway, okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
the device basically is a like a kaleidoscope that attaches to the camera and gives you kaleidoscope type images.
Now this is a lovely outfit he's wearing. He's wearing a sequin scarf, a beautiful hat with a flower in it. If I was a better radical fairy, I would know what kind of flower that is, but I don't. Was this? And he's got this look of. How would you describe this look that he is wearing? It's sort of hope, radiance.
Radiance and serenity.
Radiance and serenity.
And he just sat down and was just beaming for the whole 45 minutes of the shoot. I mean,
and
I did little or nothing to entice.
He actually died shortly after this picture, or a few months afterwards.
About 9 months later.
About 9 months later, and this picture was used in various obituaries.
Right. It was used for the program for his memorial. Was used by the Los Angeles Times in their online obituary. It was used by the San Francisco Chronicle in their online obituary.
I want to interrupt you here because we've only got 20 seconds, and I want to mention that you have a photographic exhibition, and I put the stuff up on the information up on the screen. It is on Brannan Street, 785 Brannan at 503, number 508. Thank you very much indeed, Rory. We'll continue on for the extended version if that's okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay, we're now in extended time for the repeats. So we'll put this information up at the end of the show. And we do actually have a few more pictures to go through.
Let's go for them.
Let's go for them, absolutely. So John, so that is amazing that is your most successful work, I believe you told me.
Absolutely.
And
I have to credit Joey Kane, who was responsible for putting together the memorial and getting the photo out there to all the news organizations that ran it.
And who is Joey Kane? Was that the person who I'm about to show the picture of right now?
Joey Kane wears many hats, but one of in this case he was part of the group that helped take care of John Burnside, because you can imagine at 90 plus.
It was
one needs help in
pretty much
living.
In general purpose living, absolutely. Now this next picture is of somebody offering money. Who is this gentleman? And,
that is Jonathan Campbell, aka Sally Stanford. He was the person who dressed John Burnside up
in those last shots.
Yes. And when I did the shoot of John Burnside, he approached me, said that he wanted to do a drag shoot. It had, a year and 10 months later, it happened, and therefore we have that shot.
And I think you told me this was the only drag shot picture.
It's the only drag that I've done so far, and I would like to do a lot more, because there's just so much wonderful shots that are waiting to be taken.
Do you enjoy working with personalities that do drag? Is there an extra dimension to it that you?
There's an extra dimension to it, yes.
Mm-hmm. Which I think, in what way would you say? As far as outfits, is it just a physical dimension, or is there?
There's a physical dimension. There's the dimension of somebody, putting on another person. Jonathan becoming Sally Stanford example.
I see. And who is this gentleman that's looking so perplexed?
That is Raj.
And what is his story? I mean, that's a beautiful picture, I have to say. He's there's a certain Jack Benny-esque look to him. Is that the intent, you think?
Yes. At least at the moment it was taken, he was a tortured soul. I hesitate to describe him in general that way, but at least at that moment, he was.
Now, I actually have here a shot that would be rather unusual because most people don't associate gay men and guns. But let me just bring it up.
They haven't met Tom yet.
Here's Tom with the gun. Okay, let's bring that up a bit. There we go. And what is that story there?
Tom likes guns.
We would never have
Tom
thought.
likes shooting guns. Tom likes promoting shooting guns.
And Tom will be a guest on this program hopefully in the next couple of weeks. He's excited about it. Maybe we'll bring him and maybe a gun in with him. Rory, thank you very, very much for for showing me your pictures. They've been wonderful, and I hope that you've enjoyed them as much as I have. So Rory Cecil, one more time, let's promote your show again.
Absolutely.
It is it's the opening. There's a lovely picture of what kind of flower is that, by the way?
I believe that's a shooting star.
I think I actually have. Is that the same picture
Yes,
as
it
I
is.
have here? I'm going to bring this
certainly,
up.
Certainly from the very same spot.
Okay, from the same spot. That's a shooting star. So you can see pictures like that. Are they mostly landscape, or are they portraits?
They're flowers. The show is mostly flowers and Sierra Nevada.
Oh, so
landscape.
mostly landscapes.
Yeah.
And not just reflections, though.
That's right.
Okay. Well, Rory, thank you again, and I hope you'll be on again soon.
I would love it. I would
Okay.
love it.
Thanks a lot. And see you next week on the program.